New Zealand's South Island gets all the glory. Most people will tell you the South Island is better than the North. This season, we're going to show you why we have fallen in love with the North Island. Today, we start one of our biggest New Zealand adventures. Chris's twin brother flies in with his family, and we have the most epic trip ever, full of surfing, exploring, and adventure. Chris has an identical twin brother named Joe. They are the best of friends. I have never met two people before in my life that get along so well. They even shared a bank account throughout college. Could you imagine sharing your bank account with your sibling? They both share a passion for adventure and pushing the limits. They dream big together and figure out a way to make those dreams happen. They have done some pretty epic things over the years. Their ideas are often a little crazy and weird, but that's what makes them special. Our goal is to take them to some of our favorite places and explore some new ones. Whenever we're together, our adventures are big and full of fun. We cannot wait for what is to come. Joe and Amber rented a Juicy van and got a crazy good deal because it's the off-season. We seriously have some camper van envy. The Juicy vans are awesome. In true Matuli fashion, our first order of business was to meet up at the beach and go surfing. Our first meetup spot was a new beach to us called Te Aria Point. Driving around New Zealand for the first time is challenging. For starters, you're driving on the opposite side of the road. The roads are also super curvy and hilly. It's not easy. Joe did really well. Joe and Chris were so excited to get out and surf together. When it comes to surfing, they're like kids in a candy store. They love it so much. They actually have an interesting backstory when it comes to surfing. They're from Michigan, but wanted to become ocean lifeguards in California. They were told they had to learn how to surf in order to become lifeguards. They were poor college students and couldn't afford to buy a board, so they built one themselves. They learned how to surf on Lake Michigan that winter. Then, the next spring, they tried out to be lifeguards. Despite the odds stacked against them, their hard work and talent paid off. They made the cut and became California ocean lifeguards. Their love and passion for surfing has just continued to grow over the years. The next part of our adventure takes us caving. We head to a free glowworm cave called Waipu Caves. We then head over to the Abbey Caves. Waipu Caves is actually one of our favorite spots to see glowworms. They're actually really neat. Up close, you see a worm with web-like strings hanging down. From a distance, you see a beautiful blue glow. In Waipu Caves, you feel like you're looking up at a starry sky. It's so cool.
I wonder if we could use the glowworms for fishing.
After the Waipu Glowworm Caves, we headed over to the Abbey Caves. The Abbey Caves are a series of 3 separate caves set amongst a really neat limestone boulder garden. Caves are amazing. You see colorful limestone eroded by the stream flow throughout the years. It's so much fun and so beautiful. Definitely an awesome spot for an adventurous spirit.
I think it's pretty dark in here.
Chris and Joe really like caves. Back in Michigan, we went to one in the Upper Peninsula. As we started climbing through, it appeared like the wall was moving. It was actually a wall full of spiders. We had just recently learned about the brown recluse spiders, which could potentially be deadly. We freaked out a little bit and decided to turn around and head back. Super thankful there are no deadly spiders in New Zealand. After the Abbey Caves, we had to say a temporary goodbye to Joe and the family. We had to head home for work and school. Joe and his family headed off on their own for some more adventures. We sent them to some of our favorite spots. They stopped by the Bay of Islands to take a boat ride and swim with dolphins. They went to Aroha Island Kiwi Preserve and were lucky enough to spot a kiwi in the wild. They then continued farther north to one of our most favorite spots. After their adventure north, they made their way south and we met back up with them in Raglan. We have just met up with Joe and Amber and Eleanor. We are so excited they're here in New Zealand. Chris and Joe are back there surfing Raglan. So excited for our adventures to come.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. We don't need no
Chris asked Joe what he wanted to do while he was in New Zealand. He said he wanted to spend most of his time in Raglan surfing. You can't blame him. Raglan is a surfer's paradise. The waves are fantastic.
Oh, well, you know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Being married to a surfer is special. It's something you have to fully embrace. Surfers are a special breed and their passion is huge. As a wife, you have to be flexible. Surfing is very much in the moment. When surf's up, you have to go now. Waiting is torture for them because the waves might die and the conditions might change. Chris and Joe have such a strong love for surfing. It's so neat to see them doing it together again. You can tell how happy it makes them.
Alright, had a good early morning surf session with my bro. It's cool having him here. He had my back in the lineup, just in case things got heavy. We're gonna make our way to the city beach.
We feel so thankful and lucky to have the opportunity to live in New Zealand. We have a life full of adventure. We have so many opportunities that we never could have dreamed about if we didn't take the leap of faith and move here. However, we miss our family like crazy. We have always been close, spent a lot of time together, gone on so many adventures. We miss that, and we are so thankful to get a piece of it now. As much as we love our adventures in New Zealand, it's so much better to be able to share it with the people we love. After some time at the beach, we headed to our last spot in Raglan, Bridal Veil Falls. We have had such a fun adventure so far, and we are really looking forward to what is to come next. Join us next time as we continue our journey south with Joe and his family. We find more caves, surf, explore a goblin forest, and enjoy van life. Special shout out to Francis. Thank you for commenting. Please subscribe so we can take you on our next adventure. Click the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. This season is gonna be good.